Big Boys Neighborhood, you do want to gather around your radios, ladies and gentlemen. Every time I have this man in the neighborhood, not only do I have pencil, paper, my tablet open, everything, because I learn lessons. You know what I'm saying? And then you think like, okay, we should be doing this. We could be doing this. But then you get this voila moment. We have Russell Simmons in the neighborhood. Welcome back to the neighborhood, Russ.
My man, I'm happy to be here.
Man, off air, we were just telling Russell Simmons, like, man, you look amazing. And it's really it's lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of what the fuel that you put into your car.
Yeah, you know what it is. I mean, come on. It's a lot different from like 25, 26 years ago where, my diet was cocaine and, and steak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did you know that? I mean, I don't want to go on a tangent, but I got to ask you, did you hear the new news about if you have 30% of your diet is your protein is steak, that's like 20 cigarettes a day?
Wow.
Damn.
That's the type of steak they're giving out. 20 cigarettes a day.
There's so much stuff in it.
Yeah.
So
Stuff
if you have how much?
Just
steak?
a third of your protein comes from steak
Right.
Jesus.
or that kind of animal product, then it's like 20 cigarettes a day. So
And
all
then-
these hard
That's
workers,
insane.
muscle men are doing all this
Right.
to try to stay in shape and have their steak dinner. Like 20, that's how much cancer they
And then
get.
if you smoke cigarettes already, add that on top of it. Bad.
You know what's wild about that is that there's so many people that say, "Oh, I got to get my protein. I got to get my
Right.
protein," and they cook and they get it. They think they're consuming real protein through a dead animal.
Right.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
nutty, but
Other ways, man.
it's like I went on all these shows because of this book. We're going to talk about this book, right? So I went on Dr. Sanjay and I went on all of these health shows, and they were all discussing it. And then I even went on Fox News, and they would talk, Fox Morning, the morning guys, and they don't ever say nothing bad about corporations, certainly
Right.
the meat industry. But they were talking about it, and they never would give misinformation about the meat industry because they're so friendly to business. So that's a horrible thing, and then it's like they should be knocking on people's doors and say, "Yo, nigga, they should be having conversations with people, and like, but it just flew, it came and went. It's
Right.
something you could Google it, but it's not really common knowledge.
And what's the trip about that is like we care more about Kim Kardashian and Kanye being on the cover
Our
of
health.
Vogue
Right.
than actually like
Outrage.
letting that get past us.
Outrage.
Now we got to talk about what is success through stillness.
The success through the idea is I've been meditating for 20 years.
Right.
And meditation has meant a lot to me and all the people I've given it to. I've given their first teacher to Oprah, to Ellen DeGeneres, to a lot of people with big voices because I've been part of sharing meditation. And for thousands of years, people have talked about it. It's in every scripture. Every prophet has talked about like be still and know or whatever, depending on how it's written. This idea of operating from a calm space. And we've always known it from a spiritual perspective, and we've always known it from a physical perspective. But what we learn now is there's so much science, so much research backing it up. In other words, when you meditate on a regular basis, in a short period of time, you'll see the gray matter in the brain growing dramatically.
Wow.
The immune system calms, the nervous system calms, the immune system boosts itself, then the brain functionality boosts itself dramatically. And we want all people, and especially young people, my mission is to get young people to meditate. We have a couple 100,000 kids meditating in different schools across the country. I want to go right to the hood in Chicago, and I want the country to watch us shift the dynamics of certain schools, and then I want to move that around the whole country. I think it's a very important thing to do. I meditate with my kids every morning. So quiet time in the schools is my mission, but I want everybody to enjoy or to learn to operate from a calm space because, needing nothing attracts everything. And I want people to go out there and be productive.
Russell, let me ask you this, man, because I've dabbled in many things. You know what I'm saying? As far as like yoga and martial arts, and even younger meditate, but not really understanding it. You know what I'm saying? Like a guy that's as busy as Russell Simmons, a guy that got so many slashes, runs so many companies, do so many things. How do you find that shutdown time? Like what is meditation?
First of all, you do twice as much in half the time. We all want to operate from this space. When I talk about this consciousness, it's like when you're playing ball and you're in the zone and you can't miss, right? How many points do you score versus when you are distracted and your mind is moving?
Right.
Or if you're in a car accident, everything moves slow. It's like a hyper consciousness, right? And the more seconds we can spend present, the more awareness that we have, the more we can get done. So I make sure I meditate twice a day, and I make my yoga every day. And I run now, we're doing lots of films. Lots of TV shows. We shot 300 videos in the last 6 months for All Def Digital, and those are all turning to pilots. I'm shipping Macy's now. Right now, today, we're shipping Macy's. So I got a financial service company. I got a lot of charities. I got 5 charities. I do a lot more in a lot less time because you only work in the present. You can't get no money in the future. You got to get in the present. And people a lot of times are distracted, lots of noise. And the noise in the mind is the cause of all the suffering and sadness. And the stillness is the cause of all the happiness. So we want to operate from a happy space. You know, people always worry about result. Money can't make you happy. But if you're a meditator, and it's proven scientifically, nothing is proven scientifically to make you happier more than meditation. And happy makes you money. You know, this happy, focused, aware person can get it done. So that's what I promote, you know, and I really want that to happen. I'm not giving the money away. I don't keep the money. I'm doing this, and it's a bestseller. It's a big bestseller. I'm shocked at how big it is because people need it, you know, and I want to keep giving it.
And what is meditation made simple? Because there's sometimes where people say, you know what, do I have the space? Do I have the place to shut down? Do I have, you know, like, and how do you clear your own head?
You don't chase
with thoughts.
You don't chase the clarity. You sit, and if you sit and you're patient, and I give away a mantra, like in TM, which we've done with all the school kids, we give away separate mantras. I gave away a mass mantra. That way it's not $2,000 a person, right? You just read, the mantra I gave away is rum. Like, not like alcohol. Everybody looked around like, oh, I want some rum.
I want some.
Right, no, but rum. You sit quietly and repeat that to yourself. You turn the alarm on for 20 minutes, and the mind's going to tell you, I'm not doing none of this shit. I mean, I'm not, you know, the mind's going to go crazy. Go to the refrigerator. But you say, you know what, the alarm doesn't ring for 20 minutes. I got to sit my ass here for 20 minutes. So as you're sitting, in the first few minutes, the mind's going to bounce around like a monkey in a cage, right? And then it's going to realize the cage is not moving because you're not going nowhere because you already agreed, I'm sitting.
Right.
So then the mind will settle. And when the mind settles, and it always settles. On its own, you can have a thought. Thoughts come and they go, but the mind will settle. The nervous system will calm. And as the nervous system calms, so goes the mind. Then the monkey will say, oh, my God, I'm meditating, right? It'll be mad, right? It'll bounce around a little more. And then it'll settle even deeper. And so everybody with a little bit of patience can meditate. It's a very simple process. And my book is so simple. When I was taking my 11-year-old to school, she goes to school for gifted kids, right? So she's really bright, smarter than Daddy. I said, where's my report? And she, Daddy, your book is remedial at best. Wow. I'm like, I want to shake her because I don't beat her, of course. And I shake her. You know?
That's still okay.
So I wanted to shake her, but I was like, all right, you know, I still want my report. And I drop off, and I'll come down the hill. And I'm a little nervous now. Right now I'm thinking, I always try to make my book simple. I take scripture and simplify it, and I make best-selling books. That's one of the things that I do, right? But I simplified this one. My daughter just told me, 11-year-old told me, it's remedial at best. She said it was like See Cat Run. So I got down the hill. I was really a little twisted. My little daughter's critique. And I said, this is as highbrow as Daddy can write, also, I told her. So Oprah called me and told me that she loved the book, which was, to me, you know, she's the reason I'm an author. Because she named my first book. And she gave me the light, you know, the first time around for Do You. And then, you know, Super Rich sold more than Do You. And this is selling more than both of them. Wow. So she's really been. So when she told me the book was good, I wanted to go back to her school and then shake her. Lift her shoulders up. You never shake somebody, you lift their shoulders up.
Do you know what Oprah said?
Yeah.
Hey, man. Yeah. And you know what's wild about that, Russell, man, is that just with, you got to have certain people that talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain people that could say, oh, meditation, or this is the way our diet should be. But then when you have somebody that's an example and somebody that, you know, like we know Russell Simmons. You know what I'm saying?
We know Big Boy.
Yeah, and if we could say, slow down, calm your mind, meditate, like that's an introduction to so many people that was probably moving so fast that we didn't think, like, I'm not even considering this.
You can't even listen, when a joke hits you, the present moment settles in. In other words, it's a funny joke. The future disappears, the past disappears. It tickles you and makes you laugh.
Right.
You know, that sunset, everything stops. You can't go back and always find that sunset. It has to be in your heart, and you have to operate to move towards that space. Then you'll have more sunsets. You know, like I told you about that car accident, you can't always have a car accident. You don't want to always be shocked into presence. You want to operate from a present space. So if you were to move around all day like the in the zone or like in a car accident, you would be what they call enlightened. Because everything, you know, because the flickering of the mind you always got hundreds of thoughts in your brain.
Right.
If you can let it settle and you can see what's in front of you, like driving your car, you wouldn't miss a flower. You know what I'm saying? You would see everything. And this is the reason that we meditate, because it's the best known tool we have to bring us to presence. And again, it's just quiet time. It's not religious. It's not nothing crazy. And the book is meant to demystify this quiet time.
What or who first got you to meditate?
Well, I went to yoga because there was so many hot chicks.
Go ahead, man. Yeah, keep it real.
That's why I would keep it 100. I went to yoga because it was only girls. Over 20 years ago, no guys in yoga whatsoever. They didn't even have yoga pants. All they had was little booty shorts.
Best.
So it was a exciting experience, right? But after the first class, I came out and I was high as hell. I was really I was really gone. And I'm sitting there like, wow. You know what I mean? I kept thinking, I didn't want to do nothing for a second. And that kind of awareness, when you're clear, you operate. People always think, well, if you want to quiet down and calm down, you get nothing done. But you do so much more because you're clear and awake. And that's how I felt right after class. And I got addicted. I started going every day, and within a few years, I started meditating, and it became a regular routine. And then I joined the board of the David Lynch Foundation to try to give it to the world, which has been a real gift. I mean, to go to schools, like in the hood, like in Washington, I got this school. This guy, Dr. Rutherford, is in the battle zone. I mean, it's the most crazy neighborhood, right? And everybody comes in and they sit in quiet time, and they have a more expansive brain set, and they can learn. And the reduction in violence is dramatic. And then they meditate before they break out of school, too. So that way, twice, in the morning and night, they only do 10 minutes each time. Now, you might not, the first time around, you will feel great.
Right.
But it's not like you get a muscle from one push-up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It sets in, and you have to give it a little bit of time. But I promise you, if you sit, your mind will settle.
Man, we got Russell Simmons in the neighborhood. Y'all stick around. Y'all radio's Big Boys
Big
Neighborhood.
Boy.